Sai Ram students, welcome to the third session of chapter 19, that is properties of a magnetic field. So before starting today's session children, let's revise what we had learnt in the last session. So children, in the last session we had seen that experiment which concluded that the magnets, they can attract even at a far distance, right? Then we saw children about Michael Faraday. He was a British researcher. So he introduced the lines of force and he called them as magnetic lines of force, right? So if the intensity of the magnetic field is high, that means the lines of force, they are concentrated, and the intensity of the magnetic field is low, that means there are low lines of force, or there are sparse lines of force, right? So Michael Faraday, he said that he considered some properties, right, on the basis of this magnetic lines of force, right? So magnetic lines of force, they are imaginary connecting lines, and Michael Faraday, he introduced the concept of lines of force in order to explain the properties of attraction and repulsion, right? So magnetic lines of force, they do not intersect each other. Magnetic lines of force, they they repel each other, right? Then the magnetic lines of force, they run from the north pole to the south pole, right? They always run from the north pole to the south pole. Now this south pole, it may be of the same bar magnet or it may be of a different one. Then the magnetic lines of force, they are in a state of tension like a stretch spring, and the number of lines of the magnetic force at a particular point, they determine the intensity, that is the strength of the magnetic field, right? So today children, we are going to see about the penetrating ability of the magnetic field, right? So here based on this experiment, what are you going to do? You are going to place some pins on the table. Like here you can see, these are the pins which are placed on a table. Then you are going to take a cardboard and you are going to keep this cardboard above these pins at a small distance. Then you are going to take a bar magnet, right? And this bar magnet, you are going to hold on this cardboard, right? And then slowly you will move this magnet on this cardboard. So what do you see? That the pins which are on the table, they will get attracted to this magnet. Even though this cardboard is there in the middle, these pins, they will get attracted because of the intensity of the magnetic field. So children, you can repeat this experiment by introducing more layers of cardboard. Now here this is one layer of cardboard, you can keep 2 cardboards and see. Then you can keep 3 cardboards and see, right? Like this you can do the observation. So what we have done in this experiment children, we have placed some pins on the table, then we have taken a cardboard, and this cardboard we have we have to hold this cardboard at some distance from the pins, right? Then you are going to take a bar magnet and you are going to place this bar magnet on this cardboard, and then slowly you will move this magnet on the cardboard. So what do you observe? That the pins which are there on the table, they will get attracted because of the intensity of this magnet, right? Then children, there is one more experiment wherein what you have to do, you have to take a plastic bottle and you have to fill water in that plastic bottle, and then you will drop some pins into this water. Now again you will take a bar magnet and you will hold this bar magnet at the near the bottle, right? And then there also you will move this bar magnet near the bottle at a small distance. So there also you will see that the pins, they will get attracted to the magnet because of the intensity of the magnetic field. So from both these experiments, children, what we can conclude that because of the intensity of the magnetic field, these pins, they are getting attracted towards the magnet, right? So this property is called as the penetrating ability of the magnetic field. So children, the third experiment is that you will take water in a big basin, right? Big basin means like in a huge, in a big tub, right? And then you will place a bar magnet on this plastic lid, and in such a way that it is floating on the surface of the water. Now what you will do, you will magnetize a needle or a pin, and you will stick this with the help of a sticking tape on a cardboard, right? So children, you will place this magnetic needle which is stuck with the tape on a cardboard. You will place it in the water near the bar magnet, and you will observe what happens, in which direction the needle is moving. So the direction in which the needle is moving means the needle will always move in the north-south direction, right? So the magnetic field, it can pass through a cardboard, a bottle or a water. But in each case, the intensity of the magnetic field is found to decrease, right? So as I told you, the magnetic field, it can pass through cardboard, bottle or water, and this property is called as the penetrating ability of the magnetic field. So now children, we are going to study about electromagnets. This you have studied last year also. So what are electromagnets? A temporary magnetism. It is produced in an iron when an electric current is passed through this soft iron strip. So this is called as an electromagnet. Now what is electromagnet? A temporary magnetism is produced in an iron when an electric current is passed through the soft iron strip. So this is called as this type of magnet is called as a electromagnet. Now how are these electromagnets made? Now what you can see in the figure here children, this is an iron nail. So you have to take about 10 centimeter of length iron nail, and you have to wind a copper wire of around 1 meter to this iron nail. So this is called as the winding children, right? So that you will wind on this iron nail. So you will join these two ends of this copper wire to this cell, right? So you can see here, this battery is your cell, right? And then electric current will be passed through this wire. So this is how the electromagnet is made. So what happens now, if the electric current is off, then there will be no magnetism, right? So you require an electric current for an electromagnet, right? Without electric current, you cannot use this electromagnet. Now children, in your house there are bells, right? So it is based on this electromagnet, right? Now children, can you see here, these are metal detectors, right? You might have noticed this when you go to the malls, when you go to the airports, railway stations, right? They use these detectors for scanning, right? So we are going to study now about the metal detectors. The function of these machines is based on electromagnets. So metal detectors, they are used in very important places like airport, bus station, certain temples and in buildings also, right? So the metal detectors, their function is also based on the electromagnets only. So where are these metal detectors used? They are used in airports, bus station, particular temples like your Siddhivinayak temple, and in some buildings also, right? Now they are used for inspection of persons entering these places, right? Whenever you are entering any place, that time using this metal detector, the inspection is done, right? So metal detectors, they are used to detect very precious articles, and also in the food processing industry to detect any iron or steel objects are mixed unknowingly in the foodstuff, as these would be harmful to health. Not only in these places, but metal detectors, they are also used in the food industry also, and also for precious articles, right? So in for food industry, why they are used? Whenever you are whenever the packing is done of the food stuff, so sometimes what happens, any iron or steel object, it may get mixed with the food stuff, so that time these metal detectors are used, because if these iron or steel objects, if they get mixed with the food, and we consume it, then it will be harmful to our health, right? In geology, these machines are used to detect the presence of quantity of metals. So geology, where they are used for detecting the presence of quantity of metals. Okay, so these are the functions of the metal detectors. So with this, children, we finish our chapter 19, that is properties of magnetic field. So let's recap what we have learnt in today's session, children. So in today's session, children, first we saw about two experiments which was based on the penetrating ability of the magnetic field, right? So children, the magnetic field, it can pass through cardboard, bottle or water, right? But the intensity of the magnetic field, you will find it decreasing in each and every case, like cardboard, bottle or water, right? Then children, we saw about the electromagnet. So what are electromagnets? A temporary magnetism is produced in an iron when an electric current is passed through the soft iron strip, right? So when the electric current is stopped, the magnetism is lost, right? So that is called as the electromagnet. Now how are these electromagnets made? You have to take a iron nail of around 10 centimeter, and you have to wind a copper wire of around 1 meter against on this iron nail, and then you will join the free ends of this wire to a cell, right? And then electric current will be passed through it. So with this you can prepare a electromagnet. Then we saw, children, about the metal detectors. So what are these metal detectors? These metal detectors, they are used, it is based on the electromagnet only, right? Based on the principle of electromagnet. So it is used in important places like your airport, malls, bus station, in certain temples, as well as in buildings. Also it is used to detect the precious articles. It is used in food industry, so that to detect any iron or steel object is mixed in the food stuff, right? And also in zoology, these machines are used to detect the presence of quantity of metals. So we'll meet in the next session, children. Till then, goodbye.